like when you start out so positive.
Yeah, I'm a little tired. Are you tired?
I am a little tired. I got 2/3 of a cup of microwaved coffee in this mug. So,
You know, they say you're not supposed to microwave coffee, right? It like kills the oil or something, or I don't know, something like that, and messes with the chemical composition of the coffee.
That makes a lot of sense. I think if I were a person who would heed that advice, my life would be a lot different than it is right now. The number of times I'm drinking microwaved coffee is going up regularly.
I think it's like killing you.
Well, I don't know. Maybe when people ask, like, hey, how you doing? That's what'll be my new response. I will tell them the amount of time it's been since I've had microwaved coffee last. Like, I'm 3 days out from my last microwaved cup of coffee.
0 days. You scratch it out
days.
when you
yeah.
the
Oh,
chalkboard.
I'm gonna get one of those things.
You should
Put it up here.
Oh, you definitely should. I mean, you have a whiteboard already. You could just use the whiteboard, not to harsh your purchasing.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we've worked together for a while now, I think we've in total spent maybe 4 hours together in person, which was at sales kickoff. So I don't even know. How do you take your coffee?
Black.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Black, dark. That's my jam.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to say, maybe this is. Have you seen the movie Role Models with Paul Rudd,
Yes. Yeah.
where he like goes off on a rant of venti is 20,
Yeah,
20.
yeah.
You know, like kind of like I feel like when I order coffee, I would like a medium-sized dark roast coffee, black. Like I'm in this cadence because of that movie of that's what I want, and that's what I say every single time. And people, especially when I go to places that they're like, yeah, we get it, dude. Just like stop saying so many things.
Well, I don't know how well that ages either, because or has aged, because it's not like that person at the counter is in creating the rules for what size they're calling everything, and also she's probably making like minimum wage and relies on tips. So
Yeah, they don't care about me.
yeah, no, you're kind of just being a jerk
Yeah.
for no reason. Also, I could give two shits about like the darkness or lightness of the roast. Lightness has lighter roast has more caffeine, right? So there's upside drinking the light roast. I think there is with some cheaper coffee. Not saying Folgers, because Folgers is amazing. Maxwell House too. If you want to sponsor us, promo code GETTIN for 10% off your office order.
Promo code getting coffee.
There is like an acidic difference, I feel like, with the cheaper coffee. Like it does taste,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm sure it's...
Not to ruin our chances of getting sponsored by Folgers, but just by way of fun story, Folgers used to have a jingle writing competition every year.
Oh, yeah?
And I will put the link in the show notes. One of my friends submitted. He's a phenomenal musician.
Oh, yeah?
And he wrote a new jingle for Folgers. He didn't win. Spoiler alert. The tagline is Folgers because life isn't fair. And it's the whole thing. Like I could actually quote it because I sing it a lot and think about it a lot. But yeah, it's a pretty good one. We'll put it in the show notes. Shout out to Mike Rambo and his phenomenal musician skills. What is this podcast? We didn't even intro. We didn't even say hello. We just got right into it today.
We always go right into it. I was just going to say one quick thing on... I mean, have you ever thought about like when it was that you truly let go of your childhood or college dreams and aspirations? I had that moment a few years ago, I feel like, where you sort of like, I think I'm just kind of saying goodbye to whatever those hopes and dreams were.
Is that when you put that red felt hat up on the shelf for the last time?
I have a new category of workers. I'm going to feel this out, see what you think of it. So we have white collar workers. Of white collar workers, there is a subset of what I'm going to call flannel collar workers, which are, I mean, I'm looking at you, John, wearing a flannel shirt here.
I feel targeted.
Very weird.
They're tall, handsome, very articulate. That's a weird segment. I don't know if I would have made that a whole segment, but keep going. I like this.
Yeah, they're total not dipshits for sure, and
Not even close.
not even close. Which is knowledge workers. You're in, conceivably like tech or it could be consumer goods too. I think sometimes involves remote work. I think it is jobs that I think are maybe getting rocked earlier than some others by AI. I think. I have some flannel collar shirts in my closet as well. So it's just this idea of like these kind of, and folks kind of our age too, which I think fit in this category of, I don't know, what are we, like late stage? You're older than I am, but I'm like an older millennial.
Yeah. I like your idea of the flannel collar worker and It might be a lot more remote workers than maybe you're letting on, like, that overlapping circle of like, there are a lot of us that are remote work, especially in our age group, that are just, how many people made a career change during COVID because of remote work or just a shift in role?
Although I think that is rapidly constricting with all the companies going RTO. Today's topic is product marketing in an AI world, which I think is a fun topic just because like it was in product management, like this is real time change. I mean, stuff that has changed for me over the past year is pretty palpable. So I think in preparation for this episode, and in contrast to some of our other episodes, I did a little prep work, which was I asked Claude how I use it as a product marketer and kind of grade it and compare it to my peers. And I think it just compared it to how other people use Claude. It didn't look generally at Gen AI. But it was insightful. It was helpful to kind of, I hadn't done that before. And we had a coworker who went to a product marketing alliance, and they did an event that was around AI. They had a bunch of people. It was an in-person event, and they did lots of polls and stuff asking people like how they use the AI. And the coworker came back feeling very confident that we were, relatively speaking, sort of a more deeply adopted and early adopter for a lot of the ways that we were using it, which was good and validating and stuff. But I think it was interesting just to kind of get Claude's view on, sort of the disinterested. Do you know people use disinterested wrong a lot?
No, is that like irregardless, where it's just not a word anymore, but it's becoming a word?
No, it's a word, but like people use disinterested to mean uninterested sometimes. And what it really means is you're not biased. So you're like, if you're a disinterested party to an argument, you aren't taking sides based on sort of the views that you're already bringing. So disinterested.
I'm not in groups using that word.
The old people you talk to, they're friends with, they don't use that word. That's a shame. It's kind of handy to use it kind of as a disinterested tool of how we're using it. And so, so let's get into it.
Like go back a little bit. You said something earlier as we were kind of talking through something like how we see our roles changing. You can treat me like a dummy like you always do, but just that overall, like as you're looking at product marketing, what are the core disciplines, and try to like map what's changing to the core disciplines of product marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like set the stage a little bit.
Yeah. Set the stage. Okay. So product marketing, John, is...
There you are. You started really great. Way to listen to directions and treat me like an idiot. Good job. Keep going.
Is really, I think, for our purposes and how we want to talk about it today, is how you go to market and what you're going to market with. So there's aspects of that are more strategic. There's components of that like the content and assets that you're handing to sales and passing to the demand gen or growth teams that are more tactical. But ultimately, it's kind of like bringing the understanding of the product to the people that are most likely to adopt it and getting that sort of motion right. And some of that is understanding the market and the customers, and it's aligning sort of how you talk about the product and how it fits with that. And some of there's some overlap there with product management, I think, and customer feedback and that sort of thing. But then like helping to make sure with these other teams in marketing and sales that it's like getting in front of those right people who are actually going to care about this product and the message that, and the value that the product brings. And so where I think AI has changed how product marketers are working is there is an expectation that things have to move a lot, can move, and should be moving faster. One of the things that I think is interesting is for our organization in product marketing here at this company that you and I work at, we still use as kind of the root kind of foundational documents for Claude or the other Gen AI tools that we use, messaging that was manually written by people as its starting point. We aren't yet to the point where Claude or another Gen AI tool is kind of like pooping where it's eating or eating where it's pooping, where it's just basically using itself as all of its sort of ingestion points and stuff and self-referencing stuff. So I think that's kind of interesting in that that's probably still kind of a hybrid approach to a lot of extent, where we're still sort of, our Rosetta Stone is still like handwritten stuff that then it's kind of like molding and building on top of and using that to build other content and stuff. So how I've been using it has largely been to kind of help, and how folks on my team and the other teams that are on product marketing here at our company are using it is more to like kind of accelerate the development of certain materials. So that's one piece. It's like building stuff quicker. And then the other piece I think is, and how Claude described it, was as a strategic thinking partner. And what it meant by that was, one, we in product marketing love a good analyst briefing and all the research that the analyst firms do. It's a very good way to kind of ingest some of that. But there's a lot of it. And Claude and other Gen AI tools are very good at synthesizing, summarizing, helping to surface the things that are probably most relevant to your interest areas. So that component of just kind of shortcutting some of the manual reading that would go into that.
Right.
If you look at things like SWOT analysis, which used to be something that would take
Forever.
a considerable amount of manual time. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Totally.
It's a lot of research. And the better that you're trying to get the output, the more research you're doing. Gen AI is pretty good at like doing a lot of that stuff very quickly and much faster than a person could do it. And it's also to create those types of artifacts, it's having to pull across and synthesize a bunch of different types of materials. It's looking at stuff that you have. It's looking at how you view the competitive landscape. It's looking at how your competitors view the competitive landscape and what analysts are saying and all these different inputs that it's using. And it's generating all that stuff at a much faster clip than we can manually as humans. Yeah. But then another thing that I used it for recently is I had a conversation with someone fairly recently who we came to the conversation with sort of differing points of views and left the conversation still kind of with differing points of views. And I just dumped the transcript of that call into Gen AI and was just sort of like, what could I have done better to more clearly express my point of view, and also what did I miss?
Well,
what did I not pick up on? Yeah, not here that the other person was saying. And Claude did a really great job of, one, kind of calling me out on where I was sort of like had my heels in the ground for no reason. Yeah. And then also was just sort of like, here's some things that you probably could have said if you had reframed them this way, they probably would have landed better. Yeah. It was just it was helpful coaching, right? You're not going to get that necessarily from a peer in the same way. And you're also it's probably going to be colored by, right, their relationship with you and how they're trying to make you feel from that conversation and stuff. Yeah. And Claude doesn't care, right? So
disinterested party.
Yeah, it was a great way for me to kind of have a chance to kind of reflect on how I can have those conversations in a more productive way. And so it's things like that, yeah.
Is interesting, like kind of as you're going through the examples, and I was just like letting you talk to kind of hear kind of the way you organize in your head, not about it, but just like there was kind of one part of like, we build it to build the assets, right? So like some of that sort of stuff, and we do that a little bit better here because we've fed it with a bunch of stuff we already made. But then the other things were just like, help me understand kind of core parts so that I can build the assets. And the third is like, help me figure out how I can be better at what I'm doing. Like, it sounds more like it is a tool for you to be a better version of yourself and a quicker version of yourself, necessarily than a replacement to the core thing of like writing new content, building new sales enablement, that sort of thing. Like, it is really core efficiency. Kind of like the fact that those three examples, like 2 out of 3 were really about like, how do I just sharpen up, and be faster sort of thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a great summary. And one of the things, when I was in school, I was really bad at this. Like I would have a highlighter and I would just highlight like 80% of the text. Right. Like, that's like the worst thing to do, right? There's no point to it. You're just wasting highlighters. Yeah. But to me, it was like, well, there was an editor who read this book, right? And they trimmed it down. So ideally, there's not a ton of fat in this book. So maybe I should be highlighting all of it. But Claude and other Gen AI tools, I think, are really good at helping you distill things in a way that some of like the leaders that we interact with need to see things that is much more concise. And I think anybody who listens to this podcast knows I'm not the most concise person. So it's a really good way, I think, to do what you said, which is like sharpening a version of yourself. Yeah. If I can pass things through an AI filter and get it to a tighter version, like, why wouldn't I do that? And I think one of the benefits of being at our type of org, which is I think it's fair to say we're pretty AI forward.
Yeah, totally.
The expectation is one that like folks have done that. Like by the time you're seeing something, it's like gotten a pass through AI or it's been, improved or augmented by AI. And so there's not like you cheated on this assignment type of attitude around the use of AI. But two, it's also like, because you guys have access to all these, you all have access to these AI tools, like kind of expect it faster. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of a two-sided sword there, I guess.
I mean, that I've seen that happening just in our colleagues and stuff we're doing, where my own attitude has shifted away from like, hey, you cheated, you know, like you didn't do the work, to like, why didn't you do that first? Like, why would you do this manually and then share some of it and that sort of stuff? So, I mean, we've talked earlier about this, and you had a little bit of like, kind of expressed a little bit of concern that AI is coming for your jobs. But it doesn't sound like you feel that way as much anymore, kind of just like as you're going through it, like more, it's making me a better me. But are you still worried about your kind of like the role of product marketing in an AI world is going to fade? Or will you be relevant in 5 years? You as a prototype, not, we know you individually.
Me personally,
we gotta
I will
talk.
not be. I think, I would be surprised, and I guess I'd be surprised too if it didn't affect product management the same way, if it's not constricting the market, right? Like, I think there will still be value in having humans in product marketing roles, but I do think the teams will shrink. Like, they'll use sort of AI to kind of reduce headcount and deliver kind of like at similar rates and similar quantities. They'll be able to quality levels. They'll be able to kind of reduce headcount. I think. I guess I'd be surprised if that doesn't happen, but I don't know that right now. I think it would be painful to remove the humans from product marketing for a lot of companies, because I still think there's a lot of fact checking that has to go in. I could also see the flip side might be that there's more blending of roles, like content marketing and product marketing. There might be more of those kind of hybrid roles that start getting created, and similarly, product marketing, product management. I could see some blending over time where folks are having to kind of cover both.
Haven't seen you in a week. I've been on PTO. What did you learn this last week?
I learned that I think maybe school should be year round. I did not feel like this as a kid, where we had 2.5 month summers, but I definitely feel like that as a parent and adult now. School needs to be year round. You just lose too much information. Like, we were doing some math exercises with our oldest, and it's tough to break those cobwebs.
For sure.
And so, make school year round again. Do it. Should just be year round. Do your kids go to year round?
No, I'm trying to think of like what that would do for us. I listened to a podcast about living in Denmark and just kind of like what Danish culture is like. My family's very Danish, and we talk a lot about it. The most recent one, they take 6 weeks off in between. It is a bit of like, school doesn't have to be the way that it was for me. I just grew up and like, this is how school is. So,
you were in a one-room schoolhouse, right?
Yep, northern Wisconsin. On the topic of horses, interesting thing, something I learned this last week. We were on vacation, mentioned that. We stopped halfway through on the drive up north, and we were in Kentucky, and there's polo competitions going on. And so, real bummer of a situation, there was a polo match the day before we were there and the day after, but not the night of, so we watched it on TV. And so I learned a little bit about polo, the sport, and it's kind of interesting. But polo shirts, like that style of shirt, comes from the sport. It's named after the sport. Did you know that?
Like the sport is like what, popping your collar fastest?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like there's times, beep, 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 little sensors on the ears to make sure you get it right. Yeah. No, so just
no, I did not. I don't think I knew that. Did you get on a horse and play?
I didn't, but I learned a lot about this sport. Very interesting, very kind of wild. The funny part about it is we were watching this match and stayed up late. We were like kind of into it. And then after I yelled at the kids because they were up late and tired, I looked up the score of the match that we were watching, because we were watching it down to the final, I can't remember the word, like there's 7 rounds, I guess. And the match actually happened in 2004. So we're like, we could have just Googled it. Suspense is over.
Wow.
Anyway.
They record, they still keep recordings of 2004 polo matches. That will be my lesson learned this week is, good God, why? How many people are like watching a 2004 recording?
The pitch, the field, whatever it's called, it's 9 football fields long. It's like 1,000 meters long. Because the horses run like full gallop. Yeah. So you think about what an audience of a polo match. They're spread out. You get I don't know how many people show up, but even if you get 10,000 people at a polo match, you don't. But they're over a very wide distance. So you could be, I could be at the same match and not see each other, which if I ever go to a polo match, that's my goal, is to not see you. I'll be looking and hiding from you.
Well, I will have to see you because you're like 6'9", so
Yep.
It'll be tough to miss you. But yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, good to see you. Glad to get to chat. Getting to market. We are on every Tuesday. We were Thursdays. We're coming back to Tuesdays, coming at your inbox.
Real commitment of us. Let's see if we do it.
It's been a real
It's a
wishy-washy.
goal. It's a goal more than a commitment, I guess.
It's an aspiration. We set your goals, your aspirations high. So anyway, and also, fun fact, well, subscribe if you are enjoying it. Let us know. We got a Substack as well. Send some comments. We'll be there and watching. But also, fun fact, we're going to be together doing a live podcast recording in the next week. So excited to see that. Excited to share. There's the dog.
Do you have a dog now?
I'm watching my friend's
dog.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. We're time to go. Linus is here. He's a good little pug. So anyway, that's actually
Bye,
the
Charlie
alarm.
Brown.
Bye, Charlie Brown. See you, buddy.